What's the pressure like on how you need to perform leading up to a contract like that?
I honestly, this is no way to lie, to date, haven't really thought about when my contract's up or how I need to play. Or I've probably think about it earlier in the year when Origin selection is a bit more on. I'm thinking I need to get some carries up, but contracts and stuff I've never ever played into my mind with rugby league. Honestly, it's just every time I play, I want to go as hard as I possibly can. I want to step it up. I want to always be better. Obviously, not every time, not every game is like that. You're going to have a bad game here and there. But in terms of like when contracts are coming up, that's never really been my motivation. I'm being honest. It's just always been, I want to win. I want my team to win. I want to be the best I can be. And that's always just led my focus since I was however old I was, taking footy seriously.
Cronulla last year, they probably didn't live up to, the hype from the year before. Because you've done really well the year before. What do you think went wrong in that season? I mean, you guys had a pretty formidable team, but you probably didn't have the big game breakers, right? The year before, you played unbelievably as a team. What are some of the things that happen for a team to sort of struggle? This
is like a really tough question. I should get asked a little bit about Cronulla because you're right. In the last 2 years, we've, for lack of a better word, we've choked. We've been, I think we're safe to say almost with the chokies of the league right now. And the only thing that I can really put that down to is probably self-belief. And the lack thereof for us. At times I go into a game and I'm guilty of it too. I'm just thinking, we're versing Penrith this week. It's going to be hard. Nathan Cleary, Luai's left foot. We're versing Roosters this week. We've lost them last year. Can we get it back in? Can we get it back? So I genuinely think that our self-belief needs to change. That's where our driving force can come from. I've spoken to a few players and a few coaching staff about this as well. They got some things in place, but I agree the last 2 years haven't been what we've wanted them to be. But it takes a year or a game where you should have won and you didn't to sometimes turn people's minds around. And I think that Roosters game when, we versed them in the finals, they were the worst team to make the finals ever. They shouldn't have been there. They only made it around the last few weeks. We're at home against them. We beat them during the year. They got everyone out and we lose by a point and we shouldn't have. And I think that's sort of stuck in a lot of guys' minds around the Sharks. And I think this preseason is going to be crucial for how we attack this following year. I'm really looking forward to what we can do and just add that self-belief because I do generally think that we have the team and we've proven we have the team. We've beaten just about everyone there is to beat. Now it's just down to us looking across, and this might be a bit of a cliche, but looking across to the guy next to you and just knowing that I wouldn't want to play with anyone else. I'm happy with him here. I can rely on this guy. He can rely on me. I'm not a coach. I can't say any more definitively, the ins and outs, details. Defence is definitely going to be better. I know we have the team to do it. We've also had a team that's played together since Howard Matts, SG Ball. There's about 5 or 6 or 7 core guys that have stayed together. I mean, we've got like 8 or 9 Newtown Jets comp winners from 2019 still playing in the same team. Wow. So that's what Penrith has built a lot of their success on, just having that same core group, and I think we got that too. But it's just whether we can have that belief and whether we can execute it.
Is that intensity there now in pre-season going into the new season? Is it there? Can you feel something different from the year before?
Well, it's hard for me to say. I'm not training with the boys at the moment. I've got to move a bit on here, everyone.
Yes.
So it's, from what I'm saying, it looks awful. It looks so hard.
I mean, look, it's pre-season's hard.
It's hard. And that's one thing. When I was younger, I'd be like, pre-season again, like, it's going to suck. But I'm a bit older now, and it's going to be hard, but it's also just necessary, and it's also going to be over before we know it.
Yeah.
There's definitely, I know the coaches have actually changed their style up a little bit, increasing, sort of playing to our strength a little bit more. So who knows? Wade Graham once told me that, and this doesn't apply to us at all, but he told me that every single team in pre-season thinks they're killing it. One of those teams is getting the spoon.
That's a good one, actually.
Yeah, Wade Graham told me that one, the wise man, and then he's not wrong.
Because obviously he was there during the grand final, so he knows what the highs are like. He knows.
Yeah, you know what I've heard from everyone on that team? Everyone said the reason that we won, every time someone would go for coffee, the whole team would go.
Wow.
They felt like they would miss out if someone went for coffee and someone didn't, and then there wouldn't be 10 boys joining them.
Wow.
So I'm trying to get coffee crews going in our team, trying to get that going. I heard that, and it's so simple and it's so true.
It is.
If you want to hang out with the guys that you're working with constantly and you want to build that bond, build that connection, that's got to be the secret sauce.
Yeah.
I honestly reckon that. That's why I moved to Cronulla as well. So I only moved there 5 months ago. I was living in Maroubra, just happy hanging out with my brother and my family and my friends out here. But I realised, you know what, if I actually want to build that connection with this team, then I got to put myself in their area, and I got to see them on a day-to-day basis and actually want to hang out with them.
It's funny you're talking about that, about because, you know, you were getting lifts with Jimmy Dimmick.
I was.
To training, and I had Jimmy here a few weeks ago. We were talking about the year the Bulldogs won the grand final.
03 or 04?
No, 95,
yeah.
95. We were talking about the year they won. They weren't doing that well. There was a Super League war, and there was factions in the team, and then someone brought the team together. They said, listen, this is it. If we don't fucking stick together right now, this isn't going to work. Yeah. And they just bonded like that.
Yeah.
And it shows when a team comes together, it doesn't matter what it is, whether it's rugby league, sports, you know, your mate you're doing your podcast with. It's on those toughest days that it matters, on the days where you go, fuck, we just lost the game, but are we fucking still having coffee?
Yeah, you're right. You are 100% correct. Couldn't have put it any better.
Yeah.
You're right. It's the day. I just saw this thing about Michael Phelps, and he said that there was a 5-year period where he didn't miss one day of training. 365 days a year, he was in the water every single day. And he said, of course, there was days I didn't want to do it, but it's those days when you decide what you're going to do, they're the days that move you forward. And that's kind of sort of what you're saying as well. The days when you might want to go home and just sit in your four walls and watch TV, you know, go reach out to a mate, go see what he's up to, go try and build some connections somewhere. The thing that the teams in the 90s had to their advantage was no phones. And alcohol was just
massive.
Water. It was sweet as, yeah.
Yeah, they said it was like guzzling it down like water.
Yeah.
So it was completely different because that brought the camaraderie even closer.
And don't get me wrong.
So they, instead of going for coffee, they were having beer.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, coffee wasn't even around.
No. Instant coffee back then.
Instant coffee.
Yeah, no one's going for instant coffees back then. But that still is a big part.
Yeah.
Now we just have to be more careful about where, when, how, who's around, location. So we got, like, myself and a few of the older boys have some things in place as to when we can break it out.
Yeah.
We got a camp in January. I won't say what date or what location in case Danny Wilder's watching, but